Self-concept is what manifests part 2. So now that you know you create the outside world, that you create your reality with your dominant, habitual, subconscious thinking. Sometimes it's thinking you're not even aware you're thinking. Then you've got to be very careful what you're thinking. All right? You've got to be a guard at the gate of your own mind, not letting shitty thoughts in that are going to reflect out and create a shitty reality. Now, a lot of you, I said, focus on this reality out here. And a lot of you are focusing on your specific person. You're trying to change them, do voodoo on them, okay? Trying to voodoo them into loving you with sending SP affirmations, SP, them. But guys, you've got to understand they're only reflecting you. They were reflecting you all along. If you're trying to get rid of a third party and you're trying to get rid of her, I hate her, I'm imagining her away, well, you're keeping her around. Whatever you focus on will grow. So some of you are actually keeping third parties in your reality by focusing on it. If you're really angry about something in your reality and you keep focusing on it, you're keeping it there. Whatever you focus on grows, okay? If you're focusing on your SP not being with you and being separate from you, you'll keep it that way. If you're focusing on a third party, you'll keep the bitch there. If you're focusing on that corporation you're angry at, you're going to keep it there and you're going to be holding on to this anger and poisoning yourself with all the angry feelings you're still feeling. You're poisoning you and nothing outside of here is caring. You're the one being affected. Guys, there is no one to change but you. And when you really get this, you'll stop trying to fix things out here. You'll stop doing things in the 3D, taking action in the 3D, disguising it as inspired action, thinking you have to do things to make things happen. You'll realize the way it happened came from you first. So the only thing you have to do is change you. That's all that manifests. So a lot of you are doing things like sending texts, pursuing, doing a whole lot of shit out here and not realizing that's what you're thinking about what you're doing that's creating the reality that you want to change. The reality you caused. You are the only cause. So the only way you can uncause it is to change the thinking that caused it. That's what my self-concept course is about. You have to change self. There is no one to change but self, as Neville Goddard said. And when you realize that, you'll realize you're doing this wrong if you're trying to change out here. When Neville Goddard wanted to get out of the war, when he was in his 40s and his son who was 18 was in the war, he was thinking, what the fuck am I doing here? He didn't try and end World War II to get out of the war. That's the thing outside of him. He just saw himself in his bedroom with his new wife and baby in his house in New York and imagined himself there, and he just changed himself from a person who was in a war to a person who was back home. He didn't try and change the war outside of him. A whole lot of you are out here trying to change World War II, the third party, the corporation you're angry at, your SP. Change you guys. There's no one to change but you, okay?